Alright, y'all, we gotta start it over because I made a mistake and hit end the video and I don't know how to edit it on this bitch or whatever. Y'all know it's not that I ain't edited, I just don't feel like it though. So y'all just gonna be real. Ah, shit, you know this shit go. I'm not editing nothing. Case maybe. Shit. Takes all day, so we just gonna upload it every Pinks and all. But the song in my head before we was getting started, because the cards that kept coming out, it was Divine Masculine and Energy though. So I don't know if that's still gonna come out though. But the song was Wasted. That's a song by Summer Walker. So I told you this kind of like wanting to get wasted or being drunk, ideally in love. Wanting a person that is kind of like intoxicating this feeling. It could be sexual. We were talking about the family aspect or whatever the case may be because the Capricorn card did come out. Right. So they could be some interest. Soul ties bonded by a person. You had the lovers there though. So it's kind of like being imprinted on a person. Necessarily stuck there though. So if it comes out, it comes out. It don't. But the fuck. I learned from my hurt. This is show me what you have been missing. And then don't get mad if a lot of readings necessarily go into the mental health type aspect. There we go. Don't get mad if some of y'all necessarily don't hear about mental health readings because I tell you this is around the time when season depression does kicks itself off. So it could be necessarily in immutable signs that necessarily where you would see this though for that energy type aspect. It could be coming off in immutable signs, like you hear me say, dealing with changes necessarily what situations that's going on though. So I will say that though. Saying that I did it though. It could be any sign, but I said just don't get mad if you hear me talking about that a lot through the month. Because I think it is coming up mental health awareness. I don't know. Is it pays though? It could be coming up though. Okay. You got Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Chariot. Three of Cups. Alright, let's go. You got Ten of Swords reversed, the straight reverse. You got I said Ten of Swords, strength, and fortune. Over here, we got the Eight of Wands upright and the Two of Wands reversed. So I will say that. Bam, bam. Scoop it over. I'm trying to scoop my cards up. Alright, let's go. Alright. This that fell out though. We got Three of Swords reversed and the Two of Swords. I just need one more for the overall move. Three of Wands, that's the energy though, where it's like wasted, 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 wasted. I gotta put her down in my ear. Okay. Ooh. Scoop this up. I don't like the way my car is. Okay. Three of Wands, you hear me say that song that was in my head was the wasted style type song because it was like being drunk. It's kind of like being in love with a person, intoxicating, wanting to necessarily be in their presence. I don't know what it is, but Three of Wands, you hear me say, could speak of like failed relationship, failed business adventures. It could be returning back to something ideally that don't have to be good for you. It could be communicating styles because Capricorn energy did come out. I do know the double energy, so it could be the shadowy aspect talking about being driven towards something. It could be emotional outlets like using sex or drugs, abuse, like the hedonism, like all those different types of things. So you got Three of Wands. It could be some council plans, flight situations necessarily going on. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles there, Queen of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords. You have the Sun. You have the Queen of Cups. So let's go. This Queen of Cups and the Sun and this Page of Swords though gives me like somebody who is not in a happy type state. This could be emotionally depressive. I tell you, this could be somebody who's not happy on an emotional style type level, whether it's male or feminine though, like the feminine aspects that used to giving or understanding or necessarily being supportive. It could be like miscarriages, misawareness though. I don't know. This could be that. Could be something that somebody speaks on though. Hermit energy is on the bottom over here, learning about that though. I've been talking about this though for a lot of people who've been trying to do womb healing, ideally though, before they go see womb healing necessarily or cord cutting like that necessarily came up for a lot of people to pass miscarriages or situation that didn't work for them when it comes to kids, birthing aspects. Family style type matters, parenting, parental, like all those things. The Queen of Cups and the Sun and the Page of Swords is kind of like a person who's unhappy right now. They basically could be a little bit needy. And not needy in a bad way though, because the Page of Swords could be, I don't know how it comes out. But it could be fluctuating between different behaviors though, where you hear me say where somebody doesn't know what it is that they should do. Because I tell you the sun could be energy where it's like inner child type issues where somebody could be operating from a place of egotisticalness. It could be kids though, it could be parents without a child though. I will say that though, because you got the knight and the page of swords. Like night and day. Because you also have the queen of wands with the two of pentacles and the two of swords. For some of y'all, I told y'all this is like some truth. I will say that though. This could be the part. Oh, let me put my hands on this. I missed my arm back because I was resting like in the readings. Queen of Wands and the two, the Queen of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. This could be some type of truth. It could be some upsetting truth, or necessarily though. I feel like this is up and down, cheetah totter type action. It's kind of like somebody wants to do something about their emotions, but they necessarily don't know how. The Page of Swords in an unhappy type place. This could be somebody like the night and day type behavior when it comes to manic or depressive style type episodes. Though it's kind of like communicating this. Like somebody necessarily don't know how to communicate, so it could be petty or not watching what they say. Ideally, though, to hurt because it comes from their own hurt. Then we go to the energy of where I'm ready to do something in the fire type state, ready to put some action behind it. And you get there, and ideally, where you're out of the stagnancy, complacency, juggling both sides, and you're running back towards that type of state. That's why I say it's like this energy that's all over the place. So that's why I told you it's kind of like intoxicating. And it's like anticipation. Anticipation. It's making me wait. Alright, okay, let me stop. You got Ace of Wands reverse. I tell you, this could be some failed travel situations. Failure to plan, ideally though. It could be some reneging going back. I told you this could be understanding the value of certain things. Why do you want them? Why do you need them though? Because you do have Three of Cups. And you got the Ten of Swords, which you also had the Three of Swords here. So this could be dealing with heartbreak situations, pain wise. If some of y'all know it's kind of like planning something or travel, some for some of y'all though, this could be planning some like event or something that goes on and it's kind of like you hear me say with the Three of Cups, it's kind of like things didn't go, so it's like some celebratory event, like not being able to make it or necessarily make it happen. So some of y'all, it's like getting over that. It could be in a state of pregnancy or with kids or your own emotional experiences. You be married to someone, type. I don't know. That's what's coming up a lot. A lot of people. You got Nine of Swords. You also have Strength in the Wheel of Fortune. I would say that though, in the Magician though, yeah, that's the dark side. Yeah, that's the dark side. I would say that though. I don't know what that means for somebody, but that's the dark side. Because the Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords reverse, it's like in a space of where you just don't give a fuck no more. But it used to bother you. But straight reverse, Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of like I'm gonna do something to make myself feel good by any means necessary. The Magician could also be when you hear me say experiencing like minor type health chakra, minor health issues. It could be. Chakra blockages. It could be not being able to manifesting from an ill intention type space. So spells going awry or situations not being able to happen. I had to sit down and think about it before I moved. You had the chariot, so you that's movement. You had the Eight of Swords double movement, but you also have the what's this called? Eight of Wands and it's Two of Wands. So I'm trying to think about this. Six. Six of Wands. My bad, I got stuck for a minute. I got stuck. So in this place, you hear me say, wait a minute. I got stuck a little minute. I got stuck a little minute. I got stuck. I got stuck. I got stuck though. I did. I got mentally stuck though. That's probably how y'all was like mentally stuck though. Because it was like, damn, like trying to counter that energy. It was like a blockage though. It was going so freely and so smoothly though. That's what for some of y'all though. It's like things may be going easy for you. And then when you deal with challenges, you revert back to the same person. As a page of swords, I tell you that's not like an involved type person. He's not commutable. That's a person who it's not like the knight. The knight will come around and sneak and get information when it's reversed, and then it takes it off and go to somebody else and pretends that it put in the work. The page, ideally, though, it's like the little child that sneaks around the corner. Oh, I heard so and so said this. It didn't take it back. That's page of swords energy because it's kind of like a spy. It's a person who is they don't stick around long enough for conversations. They can be somewhat immature type style, I don't know. So it could be you or a person you deal with. You got Emperor reverse though, so we out here when they flip. Okay. You got Emperor reverse, the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, the World, and the Seven of Pentacles. King of Wands and the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles though. I think for some of y'all though, if this is like for some of y'all, I feel like y'all were trying to plan some event though, ideally though. And I think for you, like you even say, a lot of people when it comes to weddings or endearments, like situations where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get ready to get married. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and they plan for that though. And when things goes awry, some people get mad because they do it from like an egotistical type space or businesses going awry because it's like the passion for business went out the window. So now it's necessary that I know I can accomplish this. So it's like the minor setbacks that you deal with is putting you in a position to where it's saying like, okay, well, let me see how can I self-work on the things that I necessarily can't change at the moment. So for some of y'all, though, I kind of feel like this though, this King of Wands and this Ace of Pentacles. I mean, this King of Wands, this Tower, and this Ace of Pentacles. For some of y'all, though, y'all trying to figure out though, okay, well, last time you couldn't come through on something, so how could this happen? Last time, just it's like planning and trying to get certain things together though. So it's this type of energy. So it's avoiding. For some of y'all, this got something to do with a judge or a situation and you're avoiding some set of a payout though. Because I kind of feel like that though. If it's a tower type moment, some of y'all are trying to prevent a situation from going awry. If it's like miscarriages or dealing with baby making with the son necessarily bringing in, I kind of feel like that's the mandatory type state where it's like, okay, how do we get to here before we don't go to the in vitro type process? Some of y'all, if it goes into the dynamic of business building, it's kind of like, how do you know what I'm saying? How do I get to here? Before I necessarily have to pay out because it looks like if the payout process or dealing with something is going to be a little chaotic because you also have the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Pentacles, though. That's why I said a lot of y'all try to manifest or call into certain things and complete and getting a new perspective, though. That's why I kind of feel like it, though. Like, so say for instance, you were buying a house or purchasing something, and you somebody say, oh, no, the plumbing, the shit, you kind of constantly like, well, you come through, you come through, you come through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Constantly paying for second opinions, but it's like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven until you finally hear one that you necessarily want to hear get what it is that you want. Does that make sense? All right. Let's go. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, King of Cups. Knight of Pentacles and a King of Cups suggests like this could be some financial type offering or it could be slow movement for some of y'all though. This is got something to do with an event, a love, a situation, an interest, or it could be emotional fulfillment. I will say that though. Because it kind of wait a minute. It's like that there. Because you got Nine of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Six of Pentacles reverting back to the Three of Pentacles, learning a practice type of yada, yada, yada. Nine of Pentacles and the Lovers should definitely be some contractual type agreement, though. It's kind of like trying to get somebody to sign or to commit to something. And it's like, it could be fulfillment, though. I don't know. Somebody like who is like, because the Lovers and the Six of Pentacles, if it's a contractual type matter when it comes to money, it's kind of like somebody who doesn't know how to split profits well, like somebody who takes advantage of other people. I will say that though. For some of y'all though, it could be like the juggling style type phase. I told you if you're paying, you're paying, you're paying. Ideally though, it's kind of like somebody's taking advantage of somebody's gives opportunities, or whether it's like somebody's taking advantage of somebody because you do got Nine of Pentacles and the Lovers. Independent. This is here. For some of y'all though, this is a relationship type style though. I would say that some of y'all it's a relationship style type matter. This has something to do with family. Could be family business situations, contractual lovers, like that could be going into business with a partner. I will say that though, because with the lovers and the Six of Pentacles, it's kind of like some of y'all don't know how to give and to take and know how to separate business from personal though. So it's kind of like whoever is the financier, a person over anything, this is where they feel like they own power. For some of y'all though, it's kind of like dominance. If you're dating somebody, kind of like the way they give or support somebody may has like a financial type love language though. So whoever has the like dominant type trait or whoever does or do the most or bring into things in fruition, this is where they feel like they get to say whatever they want to say. Because you know, independently by yourself, if it's like an independent style type nature, if you had this before you was in a relationship though, if a masculine, if it was a feminine, ideally though in a narrative where she was independent before getting into a relationship, she would tell, constantly remind him, I don't need him. I don't need him. I don't need him because it comes from her. And if it was a dude, he would say that too, because he say, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. Because ideally, though, he know in the past that he wasn't open to receive love or commit, so he would necessarily give that energy back to people as well. So it's kind of like this yin and yang type thing. So Three of Pentacles. Some of y'all could be going to a therapist. I couldn't get it out. Some of y'all could be going to a therapist. I tell you, that's kind of like learning. The therapist could be like a psychiatrist or a person, ideally, though, that's like teaching or learning type aspects. So I told you that it could be third party type instances where the Three of Pentacles comes in. It's like learning business, separating like help, assistance, because number six is assistance, but it's also the human weaknesses. For some of y'all, this Six of Cups is a space of woo, 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 woo. Let's see what comes after that, because that's why you ain't like that page of swords. Woo! We got Five of Wands, Piscean energy, Page of Cups, and the I say I didn't like that when it shift that page of swords. For some of y'all, though, this is informational style type of life. I told y'all that just like a family dynamic. I've been telling a lot of people, for some of y'all having problems with y'all family members and you want to go talk to somebody else, whether it was a sibling or a person that was in the family and they keep talking to them and y'all keep going through instances where y'all keep hitting heads and you don't know why you and this person can't get along because of this energy, because they don't have enough common sense to sit down and say, I don't want to hear that. Or when they get ready, they will tell me ideally though what's necessarily going on with them. So it keeps this narrative going to where it keeps this, because I told you the moon is meaning somebody. It could be in a state of fears, worries, or it could be more truth to that. Because I told you that's like what's done in the dark comes to the light. It is necessarily not everything has come to light. So if it's like needing to work or coexist with somebody or working with somebody, you can't because the moon is hiding their intentions. And this could be yours or with other people or in a relationship though, where you hear me say the business type aspect, because I kind of feel like if y'all were going up for a business or nature or going through somebody for something, it's kind of like they were more focused on the monetary gain they could get from you or you could get from somebody else. And it was kind of like, no. So it was like the intentional aspect. They were lying because it resulted in a Page of Cups. Then it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah. And then that's the Five of Pentacles, to where it puts you in a position to where it is broke, it is putting out, or it is not having, it is not recognizing. It is like, oh, I finally get the truth. So bam, now I recognize. Or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of like those type of things. So say for somebody was lying to you about something, they lied to you because they know it would keep you in a state. So when you finally got the truth, it was going to put you away. I would say that though. Ooh, baby, what is going on? You got 10 of Wands and you got the two. You got 10 of Wands and a Two of Pentacles. And I tell you, this could be reversed though. This could be reversed though. For some of y'all though, I know this is though like with air signs. Like y'all do not like expressing y'all feelings though. Y'all do not. It is weird. It is cringy though. It is weird trying to sit there and watch an air sign where they like talk about love or interest. It's not weird from an aspect, but it's weird to them. So they give it off. So it's like being emotionally available or understanding, like they juggle with do I. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm gonna bring out the shadowy parts of me where I just want to do sex or bald headed things, or I want to do weird shit, and I'm gonna go to the, like, it's like you see the switch happening within them though, and they don't even fucking know it though. So that's why I say it's like that style of energy though. So that could be this, where you're trying to resurrect something and don't know the intentions of something, and you kind of like, oh my god, I want this, but I don't. Like that type of energy. So that's why I said it's kind of like that energy, but it's not open at all. Over time, y'all in the business type concept, it's like going round and round and round. And somebody's like, this is the problem. You kind of like, what the fuck? I told you that though. Knight of Wands, I told you that's like rushing in, doing good, doing good. Give me like a Ten of Pentacles style type energy. Ooh. I told you it's like a harsh honesty here though. It's a harsh honesty though, because the Page of Cups and the Five of Pentacles though, it's like in the energy of. I told you it's a harsh truth. It's a harsh truth. I will say that though. Let's see what that's about though. Temperance, temperance. One hand washes the other. I say that every time when the tempers come out though. For some people, they be so focused on saying, but the lovers here though, because the lover talks about a mirroring aspect of what you put into, what you pour into, like when it comes to the dynamic of love for certain people. Listen, I wouldn't do that, and then you see people be like, let me tell you what you did, and then you be like, oh. So it kind of feels like that though, ideally though. I told you business style or whatever the case may be. Some of y'all knew and y'all didn't listen to y'all intuition. Some of y'all knew and y'all didn't listen to your intuition though. So you just did it anyway. But some of y'all though, I kind of feel like if it's a situation though that you're dealing with, whether it's coming financial type matters or something that brings you healing, restorative type process, I kind of feel like it finally kicks in and knocks at the door to where it's able to give you that peace. It's just how you want to deal with it though. Six of Wands. Nine of Wands. It goes back to the Three of Wands to where, boom, this is business. Vulnerability exposed, open in situations. Queen of Swords reverse. I'm gonna get back on the subject. I'm doing that goddamn Gemini bullshit. All right, let's go. Ooh, that's really cool. You got Queen of Swords, Two of Swords. You have the Six of Cups, and you also have the Empress. For some of y'all, though, I kind of feel like I've been going round and round on fertility type matters and probably spending money ideally though, and then boom, bam, this is when it's necessarily happens. Whether y'all been going to go see voodoo priests, people ideally or spiritual style type matter when it comes to certain things, and somebody comes to give y'all, somebody gives you the answer that you necessarily need. If it roots into womb healing. Some of y'all though, when it comes to businesses aspect, I kind of feel like some of y'all were like invested into something. It was kind of like somebody put up more money ideally than something, and it's kind of like somebody was more focused on the success that they could get through something necessarily than putting in financially. So this is where the Queen of Swords necessarily is coming in and killing somebody off in a brutal style type matter, emotionally, possibly ending in several times. Because the Three of Wands does speaks of that with failure. Truth comes out. I thought you brings in some sort of peace, free somebody, give them room to understand whether they're moving forward in business to be able to flourish. So a lot of you guys, if you're invested into something, you probably taking a financial hit. A lot of people were businesses type aspect where they wasn't on social media. So a lot of people had to learn how to utilize social media, whether it was putting out merch, putting out products, like utilizing how you could do certain things. So it was like this rattle, razzle, dazzle type energy for a lot of people where they wanted to be seen, but not. Girl, what is that stuttering? Not necessarily being heard in those type of matters. For some of y'all in a relationship aspect, when it comes to love, some of y'all juggle back and forward. Ideally, though, because I saw you the Queen of Swords can be a fickle type energy to where when it comes into communicating, it's very harsh. So it doesn't commute. It doesn't communicate what's necessarily needed. It communicates to get people off them. So it's like a petty, immature type style. But for some of y'all, though, I kind of feel like what's going on now stems from the past. So, like you hear me say, the independent, where it's kind of like, in a relationship with a masculine or feminine, who was damn right supportive, and you feeling like, no, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. Because I tell you, that's the truth that necessarily comes from the past. And they like, yo, wait. And then you constantly feeding this monster it. So now this monster gives it back to you and you don't like it. So it's like the yin and yang, what you put into it. It's like one hand washes the other. You pour into me, I pour into you. So this could be necessarily what you're pouring into yourself, because the Temperance speaks about soul, peace, tranquility, and understanding. Though you got Seven of Wands. Some of y'all though, this could be in a family style type dynamic. Because you got the Cancerian card over here. I tell you that got something to do with like family uh situations. Standing your ground, being free from the shackles. Seven of Cups. I like that though. Seven of Cups. It puts you back at ground zero, but it's starting over. That's the fool. That's the fool card where you're willing to take a risk or understanding of awareness though. Because Seven of Cups is the energy of being emotionally clear, like fog. Like if intuitiveness wasn't working, it's called now. Okay, now I see. Now I understand. Where people who going through business is challenge, where you starting something new, and you kind of like, damn. Well, they said this was supposed to be done. This was supposed to be done, but it didn't. It's kind of like, what's the rush? If you can't get what you need right now, what's the rush? There's other things that need to go on. Why are you? Where's the pressure that's coming from? Ideally, from somebody else. Is that people gonna support you? Is they gonna give you? Have you worked on your marketing skills? Have you worked on this to execute what it is that you need? So a lot of people ain't been thinking like that when it comes to a business type style, where it's kind of like, oh, I got this, but how can I get off this? And it's like try and get another way. So if the store necessarily, if why the fuck I say that, if a store necessarily isn't open and you don't have merch, you got hands. You can hustle that shit off your hands. So it's like either other ways where you can get what it is you need, ideally though, but you just have to go about it a different style that is utilizing social media, using whatever influence. But it's like that shit, ideally though, I don't know where how the fuck we get here. But it's that though, ideally though. So for some of y'all, though, I kind of feel like it's a lot of y'all. I think if you're pushing something now, it comes from, well, last time this didn't work, so I pushed so hard. And if you did push hard, where you had to come forward and you did finally reap the abundance, to where the Nine of Pentacles, where it speaks of wealth or being financially stable, you don't appreciate that. So it puts you in a state of stress because you were running off. Oh, well, last time I failed. Last time I did this. For some of y'all, though, I told y'all this is the dynamic of dealing with your own emotional vulnerabilities and understandings, though. Because some of y'all could be doing the energy of, well, I'm gonna just be calm. I'm gonna just be calm. I'm gonna just be calm. Because people are so used to me being a certain way. When my feelings get hurt, I turn into the Queen of Swords. So I feel like it's that style of energy though. Like for some of y'all, that was kind of like the shift in energy, or I'm gonna be this necessarily because people are so used to me spazzing the fuck out, or used to me being in that. Because you hear me say y'all sister sign is the Sagittarius, so that's like a fiery, feisty style type energy. Because I told y'all this is the year of fire sign energy for me. My bad, I got a crystal in the top part of my head. But I told y'all this is the year of fire sign energy for me. So with that being the energy for me, or whatever the case may be, it's not working for me. It's not. And I ain't been giving a fuck though. Page of Swords. Alright, okay, let's go. Let's get back on. Page of Swords. I'll tell you, that's like the ability to learn, to educate, to know. Queen of Wands on certain things that it is you do. Diplomatic. Shit, I was the wrong word. Diplomatic type things necessarily though. Putting yourself in a position though. For some of y'all though, I kind of feel like if it's this because you also got Page of Pentacles too. This could be with financial type situations or necessarily understanding though. For some of y'all, this Queen of Wands and this Page of Wands though, I told you for some of y'all, it's learning from somebody else though. It's learning though. Because this Page of Swords is so petty. I don't know if this you or a person you dealing with though. It will cut the sword off of her motherfucking ass. It will cut the wand out of her ass just to prove a point. And that's like lower vibration at its finest. So for some of y'all do that though. It will swipe it'll cut the sword. Girl, it would. Let me get back closer to JP. Ooh. You got Nine of Cups. You got Page of Wands. I tell y'all that this could be. I did get this though. Some of y'all got some dealing with kids type matter. I told y'all don't have boundaries between you and your kids. The Seven of Wands though, because that Page of Wands, I'm telling you, this can be that chatty patty that goes out your household until when necessarily comes home. Page of Pentacles can be a child that always necessarily wants to get the form of attention, so it's kind of like a just a family dynamic that you grew up in. Which one are you? Page of Wands reverse could be like the hard-headed ass child necessarily wanting to defy or being negative. For some of y'all though, this is just character personalities of you from the Gemini energy that's fluctuating. Like that type of energy is like fluctuating for some of y'all. That's like y'all energy. It is, and y'all don't even know it. On the bottom of the deck, we got Queen of Cups. Ooh, a lot of cards fell out. That's why I said for some of y'all, this is you. You got Nine of Cups, Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, and you have this though. Scorpionic type energy. I told you that Nine of Cups and that Page of Wands and that Ace of Swords. I told you this is the dramatic. This is like endings that need to happen. It's communicating. But for some of y'all though, I feel like you're trying to transform something. Like if you failed at something in the past, keep going after it. So it's like something that's intoxicating to you. I don't know if it's a relationship. I don't know if you're using substances to be able to get through, whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking, whether it's bothering you, whether it's sex. But one of y'all though is kind of like a substance abuse type situation, whether it's a personal situation. It's kind of like a strong addictive type trait. Don't give a fuck what it is that you do. I tell you, if you smoke weed, just make sure you drink the water. I think every blood you put through it. But for some of y'all though, I tell you this Page of Wands is like bad news. It's like bad mouthing. I tell you, it's a person who speaks of like a negative Nancy. It is a person who is it's just like a bad necessary. I don't know. Queen of Wands, Page. So it could be a bad relationship though. But I tell y'all, some of y'all don't have boundaries. Don't listen to me. It is though. But you got Five of Cups, you got Five of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Two of Cups. This is that cutting down type energy though. For some of y'all though, I was telling you in the dynamic of friendships and relationships, where it's people you're attracted to, like the darker, the shadow, the light, the understanding though. The Knight of Cups, I tell you, it could be same sex relationships. Um, that'll do it. That'll do it right there. Them same sex relationships, hey, y'all arguing so much because the emotional, the feminine energy balance to where it's the lack of understanding the masculine, the feminine type aspect, though, because people think a same sex relationship is just the masculine aspect of a person wanting to be the dude that they're necessarily dude, and they could be the more feminine aspects, and the feminine could be the one who has a hyper masculine aspect. So it's kind of like, no, I need to do this, or rolling into the gender norms of society that is causing situations. Hello? Oh. Chris, is the wash machine through? For some of y'all in the wasted type idea though. This could be arguments and fights and situations in the relationship or commitment where it's like sexual immaturity. You're never gonna have sex, fighting, have sex, fighting, have sex. For some of y'all though, it looks like it is a slow sex life. Let me just say it from these cards. This is not one of those type of readings because you got King of Swords and the Four of Swords though. This reading tricky and it's all over the place. I would tell you that. It's not tricky. It's very complex though. Like this is what goes on in the mind of a Gemini, right? It's kind of like we went from sex, we went to business, we went to family, we went to this. Like where the fuck? Like where's the order? You get what I'm saying? Like, ooh, for the month of Libra, please get y'all some fucking order. Like, please, Gemini, like, get y'all some order because it's all over the place. I tell you, sex, it's money, it's kids, it's life, it's career, it's business, it's legal obligations. It's like, ooh, do y'all got some assistance? And do y'all got some order in your life? Because assistance, if you are like financially stable, you got an assistant, that is cool, but they ain't necessarily supposed to take on all your baggage when it comes to your main life. So for some of y'all, though, I told y'all have no order in y'all life. Like it's just all over the place. And I think when it comes to logic necessarily out certain things, for some of y'all, it's like it's so embedded in the mind. Like this is what I know, this is what I know. But really what you know is up under you. So you don't want to bring it out or necessarily though. For some of y'all, this could be your truth or how you fight. Ideally, when it comes to your emotional type state, this could be stress, worries, anxiety, dealing with certain things. This could be asking for help though. I'll tell you, this is a image that is funny to me because he's laying on the bed though. The people he have conquered, I guess, the worries. But if he's worried or in a state of fear, anxiety, why does he has a sword that's already prepared? Like it's one there. So the fears and worries could stem from the lack of truth that's necessarily hidden or that we hide from ourselves. Then you scoot up. Wait a minute, you scoot up, right? So you're somebody praying in a window. So it could be subconscious though, but that's why I said, looks like y'all like this all over the place. Y'all like, girl, how do you get that from read? I'm saying, girl, y'all ain't got no order. Like, cause this it went from material abundance, and then it went to necessarily the kids, and then it went to this. So if the Queen of Cups is reversed, where you hear me say if it's an energy type style too, where you're not feeling your emotional best, it's because it's no structure in the home or in your camp, and it's not like structured to where where you tell them this is what you're going to do. No, it's like actively learning and applying. Whew, let me see, y'all. Let me see. I was trying to see what the Queen of Pentacles looked like because I tell you, my Queen of Pentacles is that card too, where it is not feeling like self. That's what mommy don't feel like herself. The Queen of Pentacles come out on me. Cause you got Queen of Pentacles reverse. Then Queen of Cups. We got Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. King of Pentacles. That's the financial type aspects. Emperor. That is the control. That is rigid. That is the abusive. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I said that's the Queen of Pentacles energy that it suggests when feminine type style aspects of not necessarily feeling herself to where she's more in she or he is like in a space of to where they fit to the norm of what other people want them to fit. So it's kind of like when it comes to communicatory style, whether it's sex or situation, if you want to be in a relationship with somebody who wants a sexual fling, you would kind of go with it though, because it kind of gives you the attention of the intoxicating of being around them. Then it shifts in the narrative to where like if you don't want to say something to where you'll just sit there and put up with something until it boils into a slow rage. You like the communicatory style. So I think you should check out Libra reading that I posted a month ago where it was like learning your voice. So that would be dope. All right, let's go. We're gonna go to the animal. And I swear I was gonna sneeze. By the moon and the stars above. And I swear, like the moon and the stars above, I'll be there. I swear. Look at that, this well just keep on picking. We're gonna take the motherfucker from the bottom. I don't like doing that though. We can take it up because it makes me something. Cause y'all nerdy shuffle a bunch of them. Move. But now the wheel is a good movie though. Out of balance. I don't know what it means when it's out of balance. So I tell you the will can bring you more abundance of wisdom. So I told you when somebody shows up in your life that it's a will, you follow them. You let your ass on to that fin and you go where you let them illuminate their way. I told you about the shadowy type cards. Like look at them, because most water cards they're just pure black, but look at the light that's on top. Look at that light that's on top. It can bring you to the top surface. Was what you call a whale? Was he a whale? Or was it a shark or a dolphin? Free Willy, was he a whale? Remember Free Willy? Was Free Willy a whale? I don't know. They got like a good narrative though. Y'all remember when the little boy had dropped in the water? Free Will it was a wait a minute, y'all. This shit y'all do. Free Willy. Free Willy. Was Free Willy a whale? Oh yeah. It is a killer whale. Yeah, it's a killer whale. Okay, no. So y'all remember on the movie what I was trying to say is on Free Willy when the little boy had fell in the water, Free Willy had came in and saved him and brought him up. That's what I'm trying to say. Though. I was like, damn, was Free Willy a whale? Like, I got stuck. So that's why I said it speaks of like necessarily letting the whale take you on your path. But you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. That's what you gotta learn, may not be what you like. You got the dolphin on the bottom of the deck though. The egg, the heart chakra. Don't touch the egg. Alright, let's go. Get us about 4. We just 3 more. Ooh, we got 2 that fell out. The earthworm and the peacock. The earthworm and the peacock. I see the peacock is the energy of showmanship, attention, paying attention to detail. This is the Leo type style energy. What you hear me say? Vibes of retrograde. I mean, in Venus. It's in Venus. I did it though. It'll have your ass around the house wanting to start fights and certain arguments though. It really will because needing the attention. It could be competitiveness. It's like taking things just a little bit too far, but no remorse of other people. That's why I said be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful when it comes to the love dynamic. Because Leos will do that. You got the turtle. I told y'all got a lot of travel animal type cards. I tell you a lot of y'all may be wanting to travel or necessarily having field travel plans. I will say that though. All of us don't want to get the fuck out this house. That's right. We all been wanting to get the fuck out this bitch. All right. All right. All right. Wait a minute. Oh, I know what the frog means. Shit, I'm just trying to get to the goddamn wheel. That's fucking reverse, y'all. God damn. Okay, when the wheel is out of balance, it is heavy. It slips into a old story. That's why I said a lot of y'all were doing that, returning back to the past, or necessarily going back to certain things like being tethered to the past, or ideally using that narrative to push you to gain success, or a new relationship, or demanding certain things, or requiring certain things from certain people because it is very it fuels you to it couldn't fuel you anymore. A will means to desire to delve deeper. It is profound peace and it is ancient wisdom. um Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We depend on whale personalities when all seems lost. Trust them to be the beacon in our darkest hour. When they are in imbalance, it is calm, it is steady, it is deeply compassionate. To bring into compassion necessarily that puts you into doing self care. So the earthworm I did it though because I explained everything. And we'll get y'all like that though and not tap on out though. The earthworm. The earthworm is shy, hesitant, reluctant to share its inner vision. Did you hear me say that though? Some of y'all not like the Gemini energy or air signs when it comes to emotional type style type matter. It's like it's a switch. Like when it comes to understanding like the emotional or the feminine maternal type aspect, the way we love or show we love or understanding compassion for others. Like it's a resistance with y'all. I'm saying it's a resistance though. I noticed that though. Because I tell you my niece is a Gemini. It's a very resistant though. Now I know if like a Gemini's in a relationship or necessarily love somebody, they'll be open. But when it comes to everybody else, y'all just very aloof. When it comes to air signs, though, like I ain't gonna say y'all don't share love with the person whom you're with, but it's still like scorpionic. You'll never fucking get to know me, bitch. Like that type of energy where it's weird. I tell you, it's weird. You gotta sit back and watch it. Um, when in balance, it is earnest, intelligent, valuable. When it's out of balance, it is self-conscious and apprehensive. To bring into balance, speak up, risk embarrassment. Okay, others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember that they once felt the earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time, and you're on the right track. Besides, a rumor has a beginner's mind. A rumor it has it at a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insight. So that's why I said, boom, on that note, Gemini, get it together, boom, because I ain't gonna be out like that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh shit. Remember, spirit animals necessary that we're gonna be calling on necessarily using in this month is the whale, it is the earthworm, it is the peacock. It is a frog. For some of y'all know if it's not necessarily animals, remember that a whale could necessarily bring a person who has wisdom. Earthworm, where you hear me say where it comes to speaking up about earthly matters or certain things that you heard me mention in the thing, it is communication. It is not shy from its voice. It understands necessarily where you hear me say communicating, understanding, or sharing things, knowing when and when not to share. Because you did give 9 of Wands, which was reversed. So don't share things with people necessarily that you don't want repeated or understanding it, and also understanding what you put out is what you get back. So we ain't taking no more victims. Peacock energy necessary. This is a flex style type energy though, ideally though. So that's kind of like the attentive part where the peacock, like Google them when they're trying to get their mate. You hear me say that all the time. They let their little feathers come out and they show off and they say, look at me, I'm so beautiful. And we all have those moments ideally though in a relationship. Just ask yourself, is it team too much? Like, is it always? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because that shit can make somebody shut down. Frog necessarily. I told you that's when you need like some sort of is it cleansing? Is it spiritual cleansing? I think so though. It is a cleansing, it is a healing necessarily, and it also talks about a totem. This could be fertility style type matters, and it could be rooted in the interest of whew, my leg hurt. It could be rooted in the interest of musically, a song, understanding the words, the things that you need to Google it. If you think I'm lying, just Google it. Whale, earthworm, peacock, and frog. Just mind run with it. But the energy is reversed. When it is out of balance, it is depleted and it is running on energy, running on empty. When it is in balance, it has clear energy and enthusiasm for life. To bring into balance, lake, river, ocean, or a bathhouse. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that a sensitive creature practice self care. Majority of all your cards said that though. It just happened to y'all energy where it was this great enthusiasm and it felt burnt out like so quick. It really did though. So that's why I was like, baby, y'all gotta get it together. Eat your proper food, just put things in your body. I told y'all though, like that. I was like, I told y'all I tried to transition going vegan shit. I should have just fasted. Yeah, I told y'all I done fast for damn near almost 24 hours and shit. Ain't felt like that trying to transition to a veganism type lifestyle because if you cutting out meat, I do though you still gotta make sure that you putting proper nurturants and all those different nurturants in your body. You gotta make sure that your body getting carbohydrates that it needs, electrolytes, things that break down the enzymes in your body so you can get healthy though. Sometimes your mental capacity can make you clock the fuck out to where you don't feed your body, where it's substances, whether it's drinking, whether it's alcohol, utilizing sex, like those things can affect your health ideally though. Yeah, though. So I told you just channeling our energy, it was like, woo. I said Pisces energy felt good. Y'all also just like, okay, I feel like I'm crashing through, and I didn't feel like that. So I don't know if you are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, or dealing with pregnancy. I don't know, but it's very draining. I will say that though. But I said that though. I said that though in the reading though, not for when I know. I said one of y'all, somebody I know. I was like, when it came to pregnancy or dealing with pregnancy, I was like, one of y'all got like an aftershock after pregnancy. I don't know what that was about. But other than that though, I don't know why I keep hearing this song. And I swear by the moon and the stars up above. Let me get the fuck out of here.